Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Brian here at home, and this is a special video for truck drivers specifically. So, in case you haven't heard from my other videos, I used to be a truck driver. I used to drive for Prime. Still have my cool hat. I used to drive for Prime. I was a company driver, a team driver, a lease operator, and I went through Prime's PSD and TNT program. I drove for Prime for about 3 years, and I went through the health and fitness program that they have there. Prime is the only trucking company that I'm aware of that has a Department of Driver Health and Fitness and is headed by, or was headed by, Sipiwe. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I went through his program, got my body media armband, and competed in the Fittest of the Fleet competition that they hold. And now that I'm not a truck driver, I'm a personal trainer. I became certified as a personal trainer while I was in the truck, and then I got out of the truck to pursue my health and fitness goals and my professional goals. And so now I'm a trainer down here in Bradenton, Florida, and I wanted to make a special video to help all the truckers that are trying to get fit and get healthy. And so this video is about some tools that I think can help truck drivers be healthier inside the truck. And I want to start with what is arguably the most important tool that every truck driver should have in their truck, especially if you're not driving a lightweight. If you've got a full-size condo truck, you have no excuse for not having one of these. This is a Coolatron cooler. So you may have seen these in the TAs and the Petros and the other truck stops. Last I checked, it was about $120. It is significantly more expensive than the Coleman coolers at Walmart, which were like 80 or 90 bucks or so. But for reasons I'm going to get into, this is where you want to spend your money. Do not waste your money on those Coleman coolers. So the way it works is it sucks in air here, and it makes it cooler or warmer by 40 degrees inside. So you have this cord here at the bottom, and it pops out, and you can twist it, and you can set it to whether or not you want it to cool or warm the inside. And it's got red and blue buttons on either side that will let you know what you've selected, so you're not just guessing. It's 12 volt, or just plugs into your cigarette lighter. And you want to be really careful with these. If you're one of these people that keeps your truck at like 50, 60 degrees, you should know that the inside of your refrigerator here is going to be 40 degrees cooler. So it's going to be like 20 degrees. Everything inside is going to be frozen, especially the things up near the front where the cooling coil is. So you're not going to want to put your air vents directly on this, right? Because the air coming out of your vents is colder than the temperature that you've set your truck for. And so any direct air is going to make the inside very, very cold and very frozen. This is an absolutely essential piece of equipment when you're getting fit and healthy, because all of your meat and dairy products are going to go in here if you can have dairy products. And a lot of your fresh vegetables are going to go in there. Things like romaine lettuce or celery or carrots, if that's what you're having. Potatoes and canned goods can be stored in the side closets that are directly behind the passenger and the driver's seat. But things that need to be refrigerated need to be refrigerated. And you're going to need one, and I actually had 2 of these things. And I've never had the Coolatron fry out on me. I had the Coleman cooler from Walmart. I've had 3 of those things, and each time the plug fries out on me. So I don't recommend the Coleman coolers at all. Both of my Coolatron coolers were largely replaced when I became a lease operator, and I installed the fridge that Prime sells to you for about $500. It's a lot of money, but it was very useful. So the other tool that everyone or every truck driver should have inside their truck is a Max Burton digital stove to go. This thing is how you will cook your food. This is how you're going to cook your meat, your chicken, your beef, your tilapia fillets. This is how you're going to make omelets. This is how you're going to make almond bread inside the truck once I show you how. This is how you're going to make spaghetti using zucchini as noodles, when I show you how. And this is too invaluable. You can set this thing for a low setting. I think its max setting is like 350 degrees. I didn't use that very often. It gets too hot, it burns the things on the bottom. I would often set this for 200, 250 degrees, and it's also, plugs into a cigarette lighter. I would plug it into the center console, set it down next to the gear shifter, and I would let this thing slow cook my meat over the course of about 3 or 4 hours. So it also eliminates the excuse that truck drivers often have, I don't have time to cook. Do you have like 2 minutes to get into your fridge, throw it inside of a pot and plug it in? Because that's about all the time it takes. You plug it in, you set it for a low temperature, and then you let this thing go for about 3 to 4 hours. And next time you stop to fuel or to get out and go to the bathroom or to just stretch your legs, you check it. And if it's good, you pop it open, pull out your pot. So the insert is a Teflon coated pot. It gets really hot and it's got these thin little pieces of plastic on there. Don't rely on them alone. You really need pot holders or some kind of a towel or something for this. Don't trust those little plastic tabs to keep your hands safe. It will burn you. Be careful with this clip, this latch. So this latch is spring loaded and it just pops in. And the problem is that if it gets slid too far to the left, and I've had 2 of these stoves and they both did this, so this is probably just the way these are made. But if it goes too far to the left, as you can see, it shoots out like a rocket. And it'll only happen to you a couple times before you figure out that what you need to do is get the tab in, and then slide it all the way over. So you push it all the way over, and that secures it. I don't know if it's supposed to be designed that way, so you can take out the latch in order to clean it. I don't know what that's about, but it can be kind of frustrating. And you just make sure that latch is pushed all the way. It doesn't leak. I never had anything spilled. I made soup out of this and filled it more than 3/4 full. And I drove down the road cooking things, and I never had it slosh and spill all over everything. There was a little bit of water that would be on the floor of the truck around the stove, but that was from the steam. So steam comes out from the top and rolls off. But you definitely need that. That's where you're going to do all your cooking. Anything that needs heat to be applied to it. Don't get electric skillets. I bought an electric skillet from Walmart, and I fried 2 out of my 4 batteries. Those trucks are not designed for that. So the next thing that every truck driver should have is a small blender. So this is like a $20 Farberware blender from Walmart. It's 3-prong. It's not. It won't plug into your any of these cigarette lighters outlets. So you're going to need a power strip with a surge protector and 3-hole. And what you're going to basically use this for is mixing. So when I teach you how to make almond bread, or how to make really kick-ass omelets, or how to make like blueberry milkshakes inside your truck, and how to make ice cream inside your truck, you're going to need one of these, because this is what's going to mix it for you. So the way it works is they all have screw-on lids. These have a max fill line up here, and that is 2 cups. So this can also be used as a measuring cup. If you fill this halfway up, that is going to be 1 cup. That's going to be 2 cups. So if you're trying to do portion control with your milk or with your heavy cream, so that you can figure out how much fat and sugar is going to be in the ice cream that you make and in the milkshakes that you create, this is really going to help you measure and stat it out in MyFitnessPal. And so the lid just screws on, and the lid is what has the blades on it. And you pop it in here upside down. Gravity obviously pulls what you're trying to mix towards the blades. You twist it, and it locks, and that is what supplies power to the blades. And you can pulse it like this, right? On, off. And that is very useful for giving like vegetables a rough chop. So like if you want to give onions just a bit of a rough chop, but you don't want to carry like all these knives and you don't know how you're going to clean things inside the truck, you can give your vegetables a rough chop in this and then dump them out or scrape them out with a spoon into whatever it is that you're cooking. And cleanup is pretty easy. You just put an amount of water in there, seal it up, and then turn it on. Try to blend the water, and the water will swirl around, grab everything, and then you just pitch it outside your truck window or into a container inside your truck. So that's going to be very useful for you. Something else that every truck driver should have is a can opener. I think it goes without saying that you're going to have a lot of canned goods inside your truck if you don't already. And not having a can opener is going to be one of the most frustrating things. Few things are more irritating than being stuck out in the middle of balls nowhere waiting for a shipper to open up and not being able to get into your canned food that you really want to eat. Your tuna or your pumpkin or whatever. Another thing that you're going to want to have is you're going to want to have a vitamin container or a pill container. So a lot of truck drivers are taking medication, or a lot of truck drivers are taking supplements. I took all kinds of supplements inside the truck. I took vitamin D, I took fish oil, I took magnesium, I took potassium citrate, I took collagen pills, I took copper pills, I took all kinds of stuff. B12, B9. I took all kinds of vitamins and supplements when I was inside the truck. And this is what made it really easy to adhere to my vitamin habits. So like if you have to open up 20 bottles every morning and every night in order to maintain your little vitamin program, you're not going to do it. It's just going to be too much. It's going to be too time consuming. It's going to be too tedious. It's going to be a pain in the ass. You're not going to do it. But if you take the time one day a week to just fill out 7 days worth of vitamins, then it's as simple as popping it open, dumping it into your hand, and putting it in your face. It's that simple, and this will make it a lot easier to keep your habit. Another thing that I really think truck drivers should have is a scale. This is an electronic scale. I think I got it from Walmart for about $13, $14. And it will measure up to 11 pounds, but it'll measure to the nearest 1/10 of an ounce by weight. And it also measures like milk and water, so you have different weights, fluid ounces and such. And if you're trying to portion control, this is absolutely essential. Do you know what 3 ounces of meat looks like? I mean, could you tell? Just by looking at it, the difference between 1 ounce and 2 ounces of cheese cut off one of the giant 2-pound bricks of cheese? I couldn't. I mean, can you sprinkle cheese into a cup, like shredded cheese, and know when you've reached 2 ounces? I can't do it. And so this is absolutely essential for portion control. Another thing that every driver really should have, and everybody should really have this, but drivers especially. Drivers are particularly prone to becoming diabetic, and a lot of truck drivers are pre-diabetic. Their fasting glucose is way too high, and that's how you know that you have big problems brewing. And so I think that every driver should have a blood glucose and ketone monitoring device. So this is a device from Precision Extra. And I use this to track my fasting glucose and my ketones. So if you see some of my other videos, I talk about getting into ketosis. Well, you can't actually say that you're in ketosis until your blood ketone levels, the amount of beta-hydroxybutyrate inside your blood, is 0.5 millimolars. And you can't really know that unless you test your blood. And the strips are rather expensive, but this is the device that I use to test my blood, so I know that I'm actually in ketosis and I'm not just bullshitting everyone. But this also does blood glucose as well. And blood glucose is important, especially if you're a truck driver and you live a very sedentary life and you eat a lot of carbs. You can test your blood sugar every morning when you wake up before you eat anything, And this will tell you your fasting blood glucose. And if your fasting blood glucose is over 90, you really have some big problems brewing. And you need to get your carbs under control. You need to get your insulin under control, and you need to bring that number down. And so this can be a way for you to track on a day-to-day basis what the effects of food are, what the effects of your nutrition protocol is doing to you. So if you call me up and you say, Brian, let's do some distance training, how should I be eating? And I get you to go low carb, how will you know that this is effective? Because the aesthetic effects of diet are a long way off. You have to follow a nutrition protocol long enough for your body to lose enough fat for you to notice. And that can be weeks out. But if you have some way of measuring your blood, the effects inside your blood will be pretty apparent. I mean, you can check the effects of food on your blood glucose after a meal. You can literally eat some kind of food, check your blood glucose before you eat the food, and then check your blood glucose every 5 minutes following eating the food, and you can see dramatic differences in your blood sugar every 5 minutes after you eat some food because the changes are just that dramatic. So when you change your nutrition, your blood glucose, if you go low carb, your blood glucose is going to be very steadily coming down, 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 down. And that will be proof for you that your nutrition is working. Before you start seeing that you've lost 5 pounds or you've lost 10 pounds on the scale, you will start to see that your fasting glucose is coming down. And so this is really important for validating your efforts. It's also really important to make sure that you're not trending the other way. A lot of people will start a diet program not knowing that what they're doing is they're actually hurting themselves. And they'll do this for 6 months, and then they go back in to see their doctor, and their triglycerides are through the roof. Well, if you had some way of measuring your triglycerides on a day-to-day basis, you could track those numbers, and in a week, you could go, oh shit, my triglycerides are trending in the not good direction. Maybe I should do something different. So with this, we're tracking glucose. And if you are tracking your glucose and your fasting glucose keeps going up on a day-by-day or a week-by-week basis, you know that you're not doing something right and that you need to try something different. And if you go low carb, and as will happen, your fasting glucose starts going down, that will be confirmation that what you're doing is correct and that what you're doing is making yourself healthier, at least according to one standard. So everybody needs one of these. So that's it for the tools that I think could really help truck drivers. And a little shameless self-promotion here is I'm really interested in training truck drivers specifically long distance. I used to be one, and I got fit while I was in the truck. And so I am particularly well suited to help truck drivers with some of the specific challenges that they face inside the truck. The erratic sleep patterns, the disgusting slop that passes for food inside truck stops, the challenges of maintaining a regular workout schedule. There's nothing regular about a truck driver's schedule. And sometimes I've had to work out at 3 o'clock in the morning in December in Ohio because it was training day and I just had to take 1,000 milligrams of suck it the hell up and go do it. I can also help drivers select exercises that aren't going to break them in half. A lot of truck drivers say, I got to join a gym, and so they go into the gym and they start getting around all these muscle-building meatheads who are already pretty strong, and their new muscle-bound friends inside the gym suggest that they do heavy barbell squats, and before you know it, a truck driver has a slipped disc, or he's torn his ACL, or he's caused some kind of problem. He's thrown his back out. So I can help truck drivers select exercises that they can do in the truck or that they can do with very limited equipment, and I can give truck drivers advice on setting up their home gym, the best adjustable dumbbells that they should buy, supplies and materials that they can get from Home Depot or Lowe's, and they can spend $10 and they can make their own workout equipment. So if you're a truck driver and you've appreciated some of the tools and tricks in these videos, find me on my Facebook page and let's set up some kind of a distance training. I don't charge too much for distance training because it is distance training. I can't actually be there to spot you, but I can come up with workout programs and nutrition programming, and we can correspond via email, and you can track your own stats. You can buy scales, you can measure your weight, you can measure your body fat percentage, and you can measure your blood glucose. So we can acquire a lot of data just with your efforts on your end, and then when you send me that data through email, I can make a lot of very important decisions about your nutrition and your weight training efforts just with that information. And we can use the magic of Skype, and we can coordinate our schedules, and we can use Skype, and you can perform workouts around your truck with a mobile internet connection, wireless internet connection, and Skype, and I can watch and correct your form. These Bluetooth headsets can be set up to your phone, of course, or to your tablet or your laptop, so that I can talk to you while you're doing your workouts. You just do your workouts with the headsets on, and I will watch the video screen to see your form, and I can talk to you and help you correct your form verbally. So there's a lot that we can get done using the magic of the internet. And if you're a truck driver and you're interested in getting fit and healthy, find me on my Facebook page and send me a message or leave a comment on my Facebook page, and we will make something happen. I hope this video has been instructional for you. I realize that my videos are kind of long, and I appreciate your help. I don't like videos that try to give everything to you in 5 or 10 minutes. These issues are way more complicated than that, and they require a little bit of talking. They require a little bit of exploration. I realize that my manner of delivering a video is fairly long-winded, but it's important to be accurate, and it's important to be thorough when you're giving advice. You can't just give blanket nutrition advice and think that it's going to help people. It may actually hurt people. So I don't do that, and I don't give quick sound bites of information because they're not helpful. That's why people fail. But I hope this video has been instructional. At about 22 minutes, this has gone on long enough. And I hope that you guys can get these tools inside your truck and get moving towards health and fitness. And if you drive for Prime, you need to get into their driver health and fitness program, whether you work with me or not. So thank you for watching this video, and as always, if you enjoyed, like, share, and subscribe. Have a good day.